Welcome to the channel in this grammar and composition. I am Dr. B.K. Jha. Today I will produce the summary of chapter 10, class 10 textbook from first flight. The sermon at Banares in brief. Gautam Buddha began his life as a prince named Siddhartha Gautam in northern India. At 12, he was sent away for schooling in the Hindu sacred scriptures, and 4 years later he returned home to marry a princess. They had a son and lived for 10 years as befitted royalty. The prince has been kept away from the mundane world, and he has not been seen sufferings before. One day when he went out for hunting, chanced upon a sick man, then an aged man, then a funeral procession, and finally a monk begging for alms. These sights moved him to the extent that he at once went out into the world to seek enlightenment concerning the sorrows he had witnessed. Upon attaining spiritual awakening, he gave his first sermon in the city of Banares, hereby making a lady named Kisha Gautami realize that men are mortal and a wise person should not grieve at what is bound to happen, for it only enhances pain and suffering. The summary. The sermon at Banaras illustrates the valuable preachings of Lord Buddha. Lord Buddha was born as a prince named Siddhartha Gautam in North India. When he was 12 years old, he was sent away from home to study the sacred Hindu scriptures. He returned 4 years later and married a beautiful princess. They had a healthy son and led a life of royalty for 10 years. Being a part of the royal family, he was protected from the sufferings and unpleasant happenings around the world. One fine day, while he went out for hunting, the princess met an ailing man, an old man, a funeral procession, and a monk begging for alms. He was moved by these encounters, and soon he decided to leave royalty behind to seek enlightenment for all the sorrows that he had witnessed. After 7 years, he attained salvation and sat under a tree and renamed it as the Bodhi tree, the tree of wisdom, and started preaching and sharing his new understandings. Soon he came to be known as the Buddha, the awakened or the enlightened. Buddha gave his first sermon in Banaras, the holy city on the bank of the river Ganges. In one of his sermons, he taught about a lady, Kisa Gautami, whose only son had died. She was devastated and in extreme grief for the sudden loss. Kisa Gautami went from one house to another house for seeking help and medicine to bring her son back to life. People thought that she had lost her mind owing to her grief. One day, she met a man who directed her to approach Lord Buddha for guidance. He felt that Lord Buddha could possibly help her in this crisis. The lady approached the monk as directed and begged for him to cure her son. Lord Buddha asked her to procure mustard seeds from a house where the family had never lost a family member, relative or friend. Isha Gautami was filled with a ray of hope and immediately went in search of it from one house to another, but she could find none. She felt disheartened and finally realized how selfish she had been in desperately searching for something that was not possible to achieve. Thus she understood that man is a mortal being. All who come to earth have to leave behind all their relations and belongings when they die. This was the lesson that Lord Buddha taught her and wanted her to understand that life and death is the cycle of the universe and no one can escape it. Lord Buddha taught a valuable lesson to all those feelings of sorrow and grief only escalates man's suffering and pain. It deteriorates one's health and worsens the current situation. Therefore, a wise person is one who is completely aware how Mother Nature functions and must not lose hope or remain in constant grief for something that is bound to happen. It is only then one can enjoy life and stay happy and blessed in life. Conclusion of the sermon at Banaras. The chapter The Sermon at Banaras explains one of the holiest preachings of Lord Buddha that ended the suffering of a grieving mother, Isha Gautami, who lost her son. By accepting the truth of life, she freed herself from unending pain.